Hi, I'm Andy.
And I'm David.
Today we are going to be talking about
The links between music industry and modern society, looking at the We Think theory.
in the year 1999, the music industry made over $14.6 billion, and in the year 2009 it made just under 7.
That's almost halved in 10 years.
Today, we can download music from websites such as iTunes, Play.com or Amazon, whereas 10 years ago you would have to purchase CDs from shops at a certain price, and then before that you would have to purchase tapes.
In modern society, it's all about convenience. Being able to download a single song or album as and when you want just makes life that little bit more easy.
In 1995, 4 out of 10 people couldn't name a single online music service.
Whereas nowadays, I think most people buy stuff online, to be honest.
Yeah.
I know I do.
Yeah. How easy is it to download music illegally? Well, it's that easy that it's a click of a button. You can go on websites such as uTorrent, Pirate Bay.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. Yeah, you can go in there. You just choose what you want, click on it, drag it into your box, your application, and off you go. Just downloads for you. No price, no strings attached. So people think, why?
It's just another addition to our easy lifestyle, I can imagine.
Yeah. So why pay for it when you can do that? An article from The Guardian from December 2005, 6 years ago, showed that 51% of people downloaded music illegally.
This links in well in with the quote from Philip Bull's book, The Music Instincts, where the quote is, "Music is not a luxury." This is because music's now seen as not a luxury, but in fact a necessity, something that's vital to our lives, which probably explains why so many people do it.
In 2008, Savvy, one of the biggest music stores previously named as Virgin Megastores, closed down, closing 125 stores due to not making enough money, which can be linked into illegal downloading music. And 51% of people in 2005 were downloading music illegally. That's 50% of online profits cut.
Yeah. It's also reflected in 2010-11 when HMV closed about 40 stores, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, they've closed down 40 stores around the UK, not making enough profit and losing thousands of jobs. So what are we as people doing to the community ourselves? Not just the record companies and the people trying to make profit.
No wonder we're in a recession. In the past, tickets were available only from box offices or by phoning up the venue themselves. Nowadays, you can purchase tickets from Ticketmaster, C-Tickets, Gigs and Tours. In fact, there's hundreds of sites.
Yeah, Ents24. And all of these websites now, people buy these tickets to sell them on. And when they sell them on, you're communicating with other people who buy them. Yeah, they're kind of pushing the prices up to make more money off it. But now on Ticketmaster, you can go on and you can read reviews from certain events or plays or musicals, what have you. And you can read reviews whether it's any good or certain shows they want you to attend, you know?
A lot of sites, like I think things like Amazon have like a You May Also Like, which is basically like they take what other people have bought and basically like said, oh, if you like this, you might also like, which is a good way of discovering new music. Because when you call up the box office, they would have been like, oh, you might also like this thing.
Yeah,
it's just one of those extra little added things which just kind of brings the whole we think sense of community into play, like into like the forefront of the titty poster fell down into like the forefront of like modern society and makes it very viewable.
Us as a society in this day and age, we are so dependent on technology and social networking. It's actually ridiculous. 10% of the world's population, that's 500 million people, have Facebook.
And like this dependency on technology has like changed not only the way we think, the way that we learn, the way that we talk, the way that we communicate. I mean, like when computers first came out, typing the word Google, it wouldn't recognise it. But in the modern day, Google's in the dictionary on your word processing thing.
Now all these companies are taking part advertising on Facebook. All these people are social networking, which is, we think, we are, as a society, people are shy, people only don't go outside, they talk more on Facebook or MySpace or whatever you have, MSN. Facebook and YouTube allow artists, in theory, to reach billions of people through advertising their songs. So, for example, when you go on YouTube and you watch a song, on the side of the page it will always have a video suggesting to you, showing you the videos with the most views, certain artists, certain genres, whatever you're into, whether you're subscribing onto the actual artist's channel.
But things like artists like Justin Bieber and Rebecca Black, they became famous because of things like YouTube and Facebook, well, not Facebook but YouTube, and like, but they're not even. They've been described as not being musically talented.
Yeah, exactly. People call them
shit.
Yeah.
And like there's Charlie Sheeney, who's a impersonator of Charlie Sheen on Twitter, another social networking site, quoted that we don't hate you because you're famous because we hate you, which we think like really personifies what this whole theory's about.
Yeah, I see what you're saying there. Yeah, I mean, in a way, again, it connects to we think as a society, all these artists, and it's all just one big promotion. It's going around in a circle like a food chain. So you have YouTube, you have Facebook, you have them connecting to each other, you have the artists advertising their stuff, and you have the consumers, us as people, as customers who watch, download this stuff.
Yeah.
For free.
Because it's so effective. It's so effective that like you can just watch videos for free. But why shouldn't you watch it for free? Because they put it up there for free. So
exactly.
So it's like it's free advertising for them and free viewing for us. So at the end of the day, yeah, I think it's a pretty good.
It's
system.
a great system. Yeah, I agree. Why is it so hard to get into the music industry? Millions of people are trying to crack into it to have their 5-10 minutes of fame, get money, get rich, as you see on TV, where it's all these films and everyone's trying to get rich. And I forgot what to say. Again.
Why is the music industry so hard to get into, like to compete in, when these days it just seems to be so much easier for artists to do it themselves?
Yeah, I mean, whereas you have your own little recorder studios now. Like, for example, myself a nice little Les Paul here. You've got in a side for an amp, or if you've got a line-up or a few mics, plug it into your interface or desk, record straight into it and mix away, Obviously, it's not going to be industry standard. And it's not going to have that same sound quality as you would in a studio, but you're saving yourself effectively thousands of pounds. And music, why should we have to pay for it? Obviously, production goes through mixing, mastering, all that process, promotion. But all these people, for example, EMI and all these big record companies make millions of profit every day off certain artists. Do they really need all that money? And illegal downloading, is it really just to harm them? And you can call it illegal downloading if you want, but really it's just sharing. That's what links into we think. Whereas us as in a society, we all communicate now via Facebook, like I said, or MySpace, or whether it's communicated through a phone, texting, meeting up in person. And what do most people do? They go to live events, or they download music, or they go to HMV or what used to be Savvy and download music, or go and buy it from them. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But to linking this back to BitTorrent and things like BitTorrent and Napster and the We Think theory, it's become apparent that sure, like Napster and BitTorrent and LimeWire, sure they're illegal, but they're like almost ideal versions of what the principles of We Think is, because it's all about community and coming together. And there's millions, if not like hundreds, so many people that put music online to share it legally, and so many people do it. Surely it's unproductive for the industry, but surely that for the whole We Think and communication side of it, surely that's kind of a good thing, that it's bringing so many people together, even if it's for the wrong reasons. Which I suppose the right thing is things like YouTube and Facebook, which is essentially the same numbers, but it's just legal because there's no content being shared that isn't individually owned.
But the question is, what's going to happen next? We had MySpace for a few years. That was a good crafty little one. Have your 5,000 friends. And now we have Facebook. But what's going to be our next social working site, if any? FaceSpace. Never know.
We Think, Therefore We Are is a quote by Leadbeater or Leadbetter from the whole We Think book and the whole idea behind it. And it's basically, it not only does it like refer to things like technology and stuff and the music industry, but it relates to so many other things in our lives, such as politics, because like giving a sense of community and making life so much easier for people to communicate to you, just through like YouTube posts or Facebook posts, YouTube videos and Facebook posts. It's like almost gives us the minorities like a voice. Like it just aids a better sense of democracy and showing that their ideologies and principles are beneficial not only to like his like what he says is like it supports that, but it supports mankind as a unit, as a team. If everyone shares these products for free, like how can anyone make a profit? And like how's that going to help the economy? But I think the problem is that eventually companies are going to start realizing there's money to be made from this free music, so they're going to start controlling it. And when they start controlling it, that's when they start eventually filtering music and filtering sites, and then that's just kind of basically back to square one again. But when people are just getting controlled by the big man up the top.
Nightside on YouTube said the web is not only a community of sharers, but also one of the listeners.
Basically, this just means that your opinion's never going to fall on deaf ears. Basically, as long as there's an audience, your opinion's always going to be valid. So, yeah, I think that supports the We Think theory of the whole community idea.
Mm-hmm. To conclude, the internet and We Think has a large influence in the music industry, where artists both help and hinder the progression of the industry.
Like such as Radiohead when they gave their In Rainbow's album away for free, well, in theory free, but you could make a donation. That's not helping the economy, and essentially that is the same as people distributing their music for free. And why should they not if they got it? If they didn't pay any money for it, but I don't know. The whole concept behind We Think is basically a sense of community, which without doubt is present in the modern music industry. And we decided that a fitting way to conclude is just one final quote by Leadbeater or Leadbetter is, "You are what you share." Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Bye.
Any questions?